Okay, hello everyone. Let's start today's game. So, today we are playing with black, I suppose, for the first game. But let's see what we can play. Caro can, maybe, or yeah, it got aborted, so won't be able to play that. Now, new game. Okay, we are black. Let's start the game. So, white started with C4, the English defense, English attack. So knight f6, my go-to move. I can play the fianchetto bishop. I like the fianchetto bishop here. So d3, g6, g2, g3, bishop g7, bishop g2. I think I'll go for castle now. Castle is my move here. What my plan is to play c3, d5 and grab the center. So it played rook b1. That's a bit interesting move for me. I'll just continue with my development. So I played d5, c, d5, c d5. Now my plan is to play knight to c6 and bishop e6 or f5. It played b4. b4 is a bit interesting move for me. I haven't thought about it. Maybe it want to play bishop b2 and counter my bishop g7 bishop. So I am thinking of to move. The d4 is a bit interesting move for me. D4 kicks away the knight, but where? Knight can go to e4 or b5 or a4. With knight to b5, I have a6. And knight to e4, I can play knight to e d5 or capture the knight. With knight to d5, I have knight to c3 in my cap hand, and knight to b5. Knight to b4 is also hanging if bishop to b2 is played. So I think I'll go for d4. Let's go for d4. And knight to a4 is the move, but e4 is the better move because I think it will go to the center. Knight will go to the center. So knight to e4 is played. Now knight to c4 is there, but I'll play knight to d5 and grab that c3 square if possible. Now the bishop can't be played to bishop b2 because the b4 pawn is hanging. And I also have the f5, but with f5 there's a move that I think is happening, queen to b3. So I can't play f5 that readily, but a3 is played. So I think I also have one move. If I play f5, then queen b3, then bishop e6, knight c4, bishop f7. But it's not very good for me, I think. Let's see. Do I have any other move? I have this a5 also there. With a5, I have if b captures, then queen is coming for capturing. It will put check, and I can play knight to c3 then. So let's go. I think a5 is a good move. I think a5 is a move to go. Let's go a5. So a5 is on the board. Let's see if b captures, then I'll go capture with my queen. It also opens my rook file. Gives my rook some space to play. And in case if bishop captures on b7 at any point, I can protect the rook. So it captures. I'll capture the queen. Put a check. The only move is queen to d2, and I can just put my knight to c3 and exchange, and the queen to c2 move. Then I can play knight to c6 or bishop to d7. I'll think about both those moves. So it's the opponent's move. Let's see what it will play. I think the only move is it can also play king to f1, but it played queen to d2. So I'm thinking about knight to c3. I'll play knight to c3. I like the move knight to c3 because it exchanges the knights and put the pawn on c3 as well. And afterwards, I can play bishop to d7 or knight to c6 and grab more space and attack the queen as well. Readily with bishop to a5, bishop to a4, and knight to d4. So I played knight to c3. If knight captures, then pawn captures, and queen to c2 only move. I can play knight to c6 and go for knight to d4, or I can play bishop to d7 and go for bishop to a4. But bishop to d7 has this move bishop to bishop cross b7. If bishop takes b7, then my rook might hang, but I also have the rook hanging for it because it's if the queen moves, I have this check coming, and I'll grab the bishop in this sequence of moves. So I think bishop to d7 is a good move. Let's see what the opponent plays. I think king to f1 and is one of the moves, or rook to b4. But rook to b4 is an interesting move. I don't think rook to b4 is a very good move because after rook to b4, I can play knight to c6 with the tempo, and the rook has to move again. But I think rook can come to c5 and exchange that knight, and maybe give some breathing room to other pieces. Let's see what the opponent will play. My favorite move in this position from white would be to play king to f1. Just remove the king from the line of fire, and maybe because I don't think the mate is happening at any point. If I push the pawn to c2 as well, the mate won't come readily because I don't have much space. I can maybe put knight someplace forward, but there is no mating threat coming afterwards. The position for white is already bad. You should think about it. Rook to b4 is played. Now knight to c6 grabs the rook with the tempo. If it captures the pawn on b7, I have knight to d4. I can play bishop to a4, but nothing is happening with bishop to a4. Queen will just move away and I can't do anything. If the bishop won't be on the a4 square, there's a good tactics. If queen is on a2, I could have played queen to takes b4. I was thinking of playing bishop to a4, but then I find this knight to c6 move. If rook captures b7, then I have knight to d4. If rook plays any other move, I have knight to d4. Then still then, so I think I'll go with knight to d4, knight to c6. Okay, let's see. So knight to c6, rook cross b7, knight to d4. Queen should move, and then I have this beautiful check, discover check. And if it protects the bishop, I have queen cross a3 coming. Otherwise, let's see. So I think I should go with knight to c6 here and see what's white gonna play. Knight to c6 on the board. Rook cross b7. That's not a good move. Now knight to d4. Queen's only square is queen a2. Then after that I have bishop e6 and queen has to go on a1. Then there's a fork there. If queen goes on d1, queen could have played d1, but bishop will come to a4 and then traps the queen. Queen a2, the only move played. And I have this beautiful bishop e6 here. The discover check doesn't do much for me because it's just gives king more space, or bishop e t2 can be a bit tricky, although I have queen cross a3. But bishop to e6 is a clear one for me here. Let's go, I think, bishop to e6. The queen's only move is queen can't do anything. It had to take, like, the queen is trapped. All the squares that the queen has are blocked with the bishop or the pawn or the knight. With a1, I have queen knight to c2 check discover. If queen goes to b1, I have c2 discover check, and the queen is hanging and the queen is trapped. That's what I think. So let's see what the opponent will play. If it goes queen, like the queen to a1 is already on the board. Let's go knight to c2 check and grab the queen. Now it's clearly winning for me. The opponent won't be able to do anything. Rook to e7, just taking the whatever possible pawn. Now my rook is on the attack, so I'll just defend it, and he resigned. Okay, that's cool. I played one great, some good moves, some best moves. Okay, you can check out more videos. That was a good game. My rating is getting improved. So that's day three, rapid games. We'll soon meet for day four. Take care. Bye.